Oh, hello, everybody. I tried doing one of these earlier. We had some I call it technical difficulties, I guess. Things just didn't go the way I wanted them to. That happens sometimes, I guess. Of course, I'm not sure if anybody hears me. Guess we'll find out in a minute. I don't, I don't hear myself, so I'm sure my keyboard's not picking it up. So, all right, here we are. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. How we doing? Welcome to Frank's Corner. I tried doing this earlier, it didn't work, so we'll try doing it again. How's everybody doing today? There's a few little things I wanted to chat about, but we'll see how that works. Of course, I'm looking at my YouTube and seeing some loop-de-loop stuff, which is not really good. I don't understand why I'm seeing some loop-de-loop stuff. Oh, but maybe it's caught up now because I saw some loop-de-loop stuff and now it's back to doing its thing, I guess. I'm hoping we're live, though. I don't really know what else to say. But hey, whatever. No viewers yet. That's all good. I'm still playing and trying to figure out how to do this stuff. A little at a time, but it's all good. We'll get there. All right, so let's talk about some Kate Patel there as his girlfriend. How about that? That's kind of funny. I read, I saw this little thing circulating on Facebook that said, oh, they admitted to 300 something K votes, which is not true, but people are posting it. Dumbasses like Jack Spates. I'm sorry. He's in a military uniform, but he ain't fucking patriotic, not one fucking bit, because he supports a pedophile criminal as the president. I'm sorry. I'll call you bitch ass out. I don't care. You support a pedophile, convict, felon, con man that wants to destroy the United States, make us a dictatorship. And again, whether people realize it or not, we're in a dictatorship. We are in a dictatorship. And, my dumb family members aren't smart enough to see it. That's okay. It'll all bite them later at some point. Don't worry. Eventually they'll realize it and then they'll be, looking at themselves in the mirror like they're dumbasses. But they really are technically dumbasses, so it's okay. But, so I listened to this big speech by Donald Trump today, talking about the Epsteine files. And how he talks like an idiot. There's this impersonator I really like about him. But, oh, listen, he's got this, you know, you wanted the Epstein files out, it's just what old Bill Clinton, I'm good friends with him. Sad, his stuff came out, but and Bill Clinton, who actually sat there and said, "Oh no, go ahead and put all my stuff out," and then put everybody else's out too. Well, most of the questions about the Epstein files that comes out, there's so many redactions done in it. You know why the redactions are there? Because Trump's hiding the truth. And then, of course, in his big speech today, talking about all that stuff, but I've never been on Epstein Island. Man, the dude's a lying motherfucker. Again, again, if you've never been on my channel, I'm sorry. I cuss a lot. It's okay. I'm in my 60s. I think I've earned that right. I'm flabbergasted with this country and the dictatorship we're in, although nobody wants to actually admit to it. Mega Trumpsters, like most of my family, don't want to admit they're in a damn dictatorship. That's okay. None of them. You need to probably take most of my family and transport their ass out of the United States. That's the way I look at it. They're definitely not patriots. Not by one iota are they patriots. They're just, I'm stuck as a Republican, so I'm going to lie for my own party type people. And they're doing this and they're doing that. It's kind of funny. Just read an article that says we're $1.6 trillion more in debt than we were before Trump took office, and points out all the waste that they're doing. It's okay. Because it's the Republicans doing it. I guess it's all right. It doesn't matter. If it was a Democrat doing it, they'd be hollering, "We need to save money." But since it's Donald Trump, Donald Dump. Let me say it. I'll never call that motherfucker by his last name, Donald Dump, because he's a piece of shit. Is spending that money. Oh, it now becomes okay. He's a fucking pedophile and admits to going back in dressing rooms to look at the girls naked, but it was done by Donald Dump, so now it's okay. That's the morals of a lot of people in my family. Sadly, they're all they're all going to burn in hell. Don't worry. They can talk like they're fake Christians and keep convincing themselves they're fake Christians, but they're going to all burn in hell. Don't worry, because they support a man that technically is the vilest of any person on this God's green earth. And then I was reading, going back in the day when Donald Trump was about to go bankrupt, how Russia bailed him out of that. And I actually believe they did. So he owes Russia a lot of favors. But, just the fact that he's out there saying, "I've never been on Epstein Island." Oh, what the hell? Dude, we know you've been on Epstein Island. We know you're a pedophile. Come on, dude. Why do you have to sit here and say you're not a pedophile? But anyways, it's just one of the things that go on. You know, again, Donald Trump's a hypocrite. Just think about it. He's a person with birthright citizenship that both his family members were foreigners to the United States, Scottish and German. His grandfather was a pimp. It don't matter really what you want to say, but that is exactly what he was. His married 3 foreign wives, and yet he's all on immigration. Let's not let anybody come to the country. Distract America that immigrants are the problem when it's not. The enemy is in the White House along with all his cronies as the administration right now. We're in a dictatorship. Everybody get used to it. You got to sit here and figure out that we're in a dictatorship. That's just how it is. There's not really anything else to say about it. Donald Trump said he signed something at the beginning of the presidency to keep anybody from being shut up, and then all of a sudden, well, we had to do away with free speech, because it wasn't suiting him. It didn't suit his purpose, and he wants to do away with it. It's kind of funny too. But this ain't gonna be a real long stream. I'm gonna put this little video up. I just thought it was interesting that he came out with a video today that says he wasn't on Trump Epstein's island, and the dude lies and lies and lies. Of course, again, I had a family member post something that I had to make a comment about too, because when I go back to look at it, it's bullshit. And they recounted the votes there by hand a few times. So that's just another Trump bullshit propaganda being pushed out by my dumbass family members, which I hate being even related to these people. It's just that sad that we share a last name. They're dogs. Really, really bad dogs. But, nothing else I can do about it. They have their opinion, though. They can support who they want to support. I have my opinion, and I'm going to support who I support. I have my religion. My religion will always tell me that Donald Trump isn't Christian or anywhere close to Christian, but I'm smart enough to understand this. And, it's kind of like someone getting up there and saying God is a God of war, but actually he's not. They don't know the Bible very well. We're going from Old Testament to New Testament. Nobody understands what the New Testament was about, apparently. It's kind of as crazy as Charlie Kirk and that piece of shit there pointing out that in Leviticus it says this, 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 and this. But apparently the book of Leviticus is one of the most controversial books. So take some time to go back and read it, because Charlie Kirk would have been stoned to death a long time ago if you followed everything in Leviticus. Most of my family members too would be stoned to death a long time ago, like I said. it tells you a lot of don't do's, or you'll be stoned to death. Some of them say your mother should stone you to death. There's just a lot of different crazy stuff in Leviticus. It's not a good example of this is what God wanted for someone to point out. It's just not. But it doesn't really matter because the New Testament and the birth of Christ changed a lot of stuff. So God didn't become a God of vengeance anymore. It was all about love. Jesus says, love thy neighbor, love the foreigners. And these is the, things Jesus taught while he was here. And the Bible made it pretty clear that you can't get to heaven unless you go through the Son. So most of you fake Christians, family members, that are sitting here talking other than what Jesus Christ was talking about, don't expect to be in heaven, buddy. Don't expect to be there at all. I'll probably be waving to you while you're down in hell burning because you just don't understand the Bible, understand what's supposed to be done. That's okay, though. My mind gets baffled with all the stuff that goes on nowadays, but in the end, I'm just worried. I got a teenager here. I'm worried about what's going to happen with him in this country. This country's not what I grew up in. I see that Nazis have took over. Russians took over. We're committing war crimes against Venezuela now. We're shooting people in Venezuelan waters, saying they're drug runners with no proof whatsoever. And just to top it off, they don't want anybody to survive because those survivors will go tell the truth. So they'll kill the survivors about an hour later. So we got the double tap. And then we're stealing oil tankers from Venezuela. We're stealing their oil tankers too. And Venezuelans pretty much said, hey, we're about to go to war. And, that's okay. I hope they bomb the United States land itself. We've had our independence war here, our civil war here, but after that, we've never had a war on our soil. We've always been to somebody else's soil. So it's about time for it to come to our soil. Maybe these dumbasses that follow Trump will wake up, but probably not, because we know Trump's going to be hitting an underground bunker, laughing his ass off along with his family about all the shit that's going to be going on up here on our surface. So we'll have to deal with it. But that's the stupidity of people sometimes. I hate to say it, but yeah, it is time for war to come to our soil. It is. These mega people need a wake-up call, a real wake-up call, not just trying to convince these fucking cult-following idiots of the right thing, because you can't really convince them of the right thing. They don't know what the fuck right is. They think Trump is right. So we need something to shake up our ground here. And, I don't blame us. Donald Trump has done exactly what Putin has done with Ukraine. There is no ands, ifs, or buts about it. He's gone to a sovereign country and started fucking with them. And it's no more right for Putin to do it than it is for Trump to do it, but they are mirroring each other. You keep this in mind and do some research, Google search. Donald Trump was a broke bitch at one time. Somebody had to bail him out. Go look at who bailed him out. When he was younger, he was in some trouble. Russia came and saved his little ass. But anyways, we'll call it quits here. I appreciate you coming out and spending a little time with me. I'll try to do a little bit more podcasts. It's holidays and work and all that good stuff, so I got to get things done. But, again, thanks for coming out. Welcome to Frank's Corner. I hope you come back. I'll try to get a topic that's focused, because I know I get scattered. I read so much during the day. My topic's scattered because I remember I read this and I read this and this happened and that happened. That's actually what happens with me. I get scattered because of all the different stuff I read and look and fact check and someone who's trying to sit there and say, oh, Trump won Georgia. No, you didn't. He didn't. And I had someone post something. So I just posted the fact. I Google searched it, found the facts, found the recounts. And no, nobody screwed Trump over. He just didn't win the damn vote. Of course, I'll say this many a times. I'll say it again. He didn't win this election neither. They rigged the votes for him. They got into the systems and rigged the votes for him. So he's not really the elected president. He's just some asshat that was trying to keep from going to prison. Anybody that supports Trump, y'all can kiss my ass, because if he didn't get elected, he'd be in prison. That's a fact. Nothing would fucking save his ass. Y'all, crooked ass saved his ass. Cheating saved his ass, but that's about the only thing that saved his ass. Anyways, have a good day. Have a good night. Peace out. We'll talk at you later. Thanks for coming. Thanks for listening to me. And this is Frank signing off from Frank's Corner.